At the top level of the game, every shot is important, and anyone who has a real chink in the armor will be exposed. That said, what separates the very best from the rest is their volleys. More specifically, the speed in which they react and the effectiveness of their volley. The better your volleys are, the less attackable and the more dangerous you are. It's that simple. So, what makes a volley great? Well, sometimes it's raw power, sometimes it's great touch. It depends what's needed, but for the purposes of today's lesson, we're going to be talking about the initial attack and the normal exchange that follows. Keeping a compact volley stroke is much more difficult than it seems. The desire to put maximum power on the ball is overwhelming, and as such, the size of the volley swing length is generally too large. If this describes you, then there's a good chance it's not because you lack power. It's that you're too far away from the ball to be efficient at creating power. Whether you're too far from the ball vertically or horizontally, what's important here is your shoulder's proximity to the contact point. The further away it is, the slower you'll be. The closer it is, the faster you'll be. It's that simple. What do you think about when you're attacked? Just get the paddle on the ball, right? Do you ever think about your footwork or your body height? Probably not. Let's look at what happens when a ball is hit below the net height when I'm standing tall. My arm must extend just to reach the ball. That means I've already used one vital lever, my elbow, just to make contact. I'm now restricted to just using my shoulder and wrist for power and accuracy. That's like asking a major league pitcher to go underarm. They could do it, but they'll never get the same power without the complete kinetic chain. That means the elbow. Now let's look at the technique I can use when I drop my body height. Notice how my elbow can now float higher than before relative to my body. That allows me to keep it loaded to create real punching power, utilizing the tricep as well as the shoulder. This will ultimately mean that you won't be so over-invested in your counterattack or punch volley reactions that you can't be ready for the next one. Remember, the golden rule of attacking is always to expect the ball to come back. This applies to counterattacks also. There's no better feeling in the game than winning a fast volley exchange that lasts for a dozen shots. However, there's not much worse than that sinking feeling you get when you're attacked and either unable to return or the counterpunch sailed into the bleachers because you couldn't control your haymaker of a forehand volley. I know, you've heard it all before. Get low, bend your knees. Being quicker to the ball and being able to reach far into the kitchen are normally the best arguments for it, but today I've presented yet another reason that dropping your body height is absolutely necessary. So, here's what I want you to do. Get a GoPro or even just use your phone and take some footage of you until you have enough evidence of what's actually happening. There's what you feel and there's what's real. Unfortunately, those two are rarely the same thing. So take a look at yourself and make the change.